So this will be like my first like vlog thing, and my choice of a first map might be a little a bit much. It's a little distracting, but hey, whatever. I felt like picking this one because I've been doing dancing stuff, and I've been dancing in this world, listening to people's music, and enjoying it quite a bit. Anyways, with that said though, I have a list of things here I wanted to go talk about, and I gotta say, a lot more happens in a month than I originally thought. So, oopsies. So, I might do this more frequently. I might not. I'll go see. Also, February is a shorter month than I remembered, so I kind of forgot. So, that's why I'm doing this like a week late. And I'm a little tired right now, but yes. So, first thing, because I forgot to mention this last time, I'm going to like a lot of videos I had unlisted for a while are going to be listed now. So you're going to see a lot of things. They're going to be wildly differently qualities, because I'm just like kind of just doing this as a time capsule thing. That I remember saying last time, but I forgot that I was going to say that they're going to start showing up. So they're going to start showing up now. So yeah, you're going to see a lot of them. Some of the Smash videos, like I've like did some like clips because I was just having some fun with some friends, and I forgot just how much fun Smash is. So I was having a lot of fun with that. But I don't know how much I'm going to be able to edit stuff, because like editing does take a while. I may be watching the videos back at like 2 times speed just to get like the things, just until like I hear people start like going crazy, and then I'm like, oh, okay, there's a part that I can go do. But yeah, I don't expect the edits to be going all the time. Let's see. Well, let's see. Where do I start first? I think what I'll do with these vlogs is I'll talk about real life stuff first, and then I'll talk about video game stuff later. Because video game stuff, you know, I love video games, so I might tend to ramble, especially if I'm tired, like I am now. So I'll start with real life stuff and then go on to like video game stuff. And I am not, I did not prepare my stuff today, so hopefully the next time I do one of these vlogs, it won't be that bad. So first off, got a new truck. I love it dearly. It's like a straight upgrade from their previous truck. Unfortunately, I am now poor. So cars be expensive, you know? So makes me feel bad. Let's see. I've also been looking into dieting stuff a lot lately. I think the last time I made a video, I was planning on monitoring my diet a little bit more. I did like have a bit more peanut butter sandwiches since then, so my brain was all clogged and such. And then I got over that. I stopped doing that. And then I started actually eating more greens in my diet, having more vitamins. Now I'm just happy all the time. And for the first time in my life, like I'm actually in the mood to do bedtime activities, which shocked me because I've never been one for bedtime activities. So go figure. But that all like kind of went away the past couple days because I was a fool, as I had some soda. Like I had like a half a liter in like a day. Oh, probably a little bit more than that. So for some reason, like when I drink Coca-Cola, it like makes me super irritable and such. A little bit, not bad. But if I have like a whole ton of it, like it makes me super irritable for some reason. So I was having a rough day the other day. So yes, those three things combined, all I just want to say is, freaking diet affects the brain more than I thought. Go figure. But like no one ever really tells me like how much of an effect dieting can have on you. So yeah, I just want to say that for people, so for anyone else that might think that dieting is kind of lame and all that such, it really helps a lot. And I've been getting a lot more sleep because of it too. I mean, well, not just because of that, but it is a contributing factor, you know? Speaking of other things like that, oh yeah, that's right. I've been having Gatorade. So, when I first had it though, it was kind of interesting because it dehydrated the heck out of me. But then the next day, like, it actually was hydrating me. And also, I'm actually able to start sweating at work, which is really nice because I work the grill. So it's nice to be able to cool down a bit. But my gosh, do I have to drink so much water. But yeah, it's definitely helping a lot. Because I was drinking 5 bottles of water for work before I started having the Gatorade, but now that I have the Gatorade, like, I'm still drinking the same 5 bottles, but like I'm actually sweating, and it actually feels like I'm actually doing something when I drink water. So very helpful. I was a little scared when I first had Gatorade though, because it was making my heart pump like no tomorrow. So I got terrified, but like after like the first day or two of drinking it, like it stopped beating super hard, like the hardest I've ever had in my life. So go figure. But yes, that's one of the reasons why I was looking into like dieting stuff, because apparently I need more vitamins in all those other things. So I'm going to be researching even more into dieting now that I've seen like actual results of actually changing my diet around. Go figure. Because every other time in my life when I've done like dieting stuff, like nothing ever happened. Like whenever I would go to the doctors, they'd say, everything's fine. You just need to raise your HDL levels by exercising more. I'm like, okay, sure. Meanwhile, I'm not really having many fruits and veggies. I'm freaking drinking soda, not having any water. And it's like, no wonder I was feeling like crap all the time growing up and feeling all emotional and all that. It's like, dieting is important. I thought like I could trust doctors to like do more stuff, but maybe I just had a bad doctor, because not all doctors are bad, obviously. Let's see. But yes, going from Gatorade into exercise, I've been doing a lot more exercise lately. Oh yeah, since I bought like a freaking around the same time I bought a new vehicle, I also got like new boots, the proper size, 15 wides. Going from sneakers to big boots like that, like I feel like I'm just stomping like I'm Mr.X from Resident Evil 2 remake or something. It's just so funny. It's so stompy. But when I first got into it, it made me really realize how weak my knees were. Cause when I was walking around, every now and then my left knee would feel a little loose. I'm like, oh, that doesn't seem right. But luckily, I did some research, and apparently, if you have like weak knees, a lot of it is like your upper legs are the problem for some reason. So, but there's also other exercises like hamstrings, and then you got the heel lifts. Those are kind of fun. Of course, you probably might want to get like a little step so you can actually go properly get the full range of motion. Oh no, body. Bleh. I thought I angled myself earlier. Anyways, but yes, so I've been doing a lot of that. It's been making me feel very good. I'm doing all the different exercises, but doing a lot of flexibility stuff, because I had a lot of exercises were getting kind of tough. But like Beat Saber is gonna feel a lot easier now because of all the nutrient stuff that I've been having lately. Like, I feel like I'm as strong as I used to be, and like I'm feeling much more confident with my swings now because of that diet I've been having, and I've been sleeping more. So those things combined, like I think I'll be getting back into the making all those Beat Saber videos again soon. I just need to be careful because when I was first doing these knee exercises, like I didn't get enough sleep the first few days, so my legs were like extremely wobbly, and I was actually getting very concerned. So yes, lots of sleep, more exercises, focusing on things that people don't talk about. You know, something that's not fucking biceps or abs like everyone always talks about. You know, there's other muscles out there. Believe it or not. Okay. What's next on here? Oh yeah, speaking of Beat Saber and VR exercises, I mentioned dancing earlier. In here. This might also be another go-to exercise now, 'cause going around, moving your body, moving your legs, kind of helps quite a bit, you know? And I was actually able to sweat, so I might just go do that. Maybe I'll go ask my dancing coach friend for some more tips. So we'll just have to see. And there's a lot of people that I want to show like a lot of their types of music to me, so that should be a fun thing to do. I don't know if they want to listen to my music because I just love video game music, as vague as that sounds. And making music for video games is a little different than making music in general. But yeah, we'll just have to get around to that at some point. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, speaking of music, I've been trying to like appreciate music more, and I've been still trying to go through the Guilty Gear Strive like lyrics and be like, why do I like this music so much? So first of all, lots of guitars and all that such. I'm a sucker for guitars, so yeah, I'm gonna love Guilty Gear stuff because it just hits the right spot. But like a lot of the lyrics for the characters in Guilty Gear Strive are like about motivations and such, so I kind of like it. It was something I've been doing for a while, but like recently I'm trying to pick it back up. I was starting with like Eno's theme, but like Eno's theme was like not upbeat unlike all the other ones. All the other ones are like, this is why I strive to do things at life. And then Eno's like, I've seen everything, but I hate it all, or something like that. It's just kind of funny. Meanwhile, like, there's a couple other characters that have seen everything. Because the thing about Eno is that she's seen everything, so why even try? Because there's no point, because she's achieved everything that she wants, but now everything's all boring. Which I feel like isn't how things would go if you were to master everything. Just saying, as someone that's like mastered a lot of video games, you can just enjoy like simple pleasures and such. You don't have to always like try to be better. You can just enjoy being at the top, you know? Yeah. Anyways. Whereas like frickin' Jacko, Happy Chaos, Axel, they are all characters that like have like these super godly powers because they know everything. But they're just enjoying life. Like Happy Chaos is like, there's nothing I care about in life. That's why everything's beautiful. And I'm just like, holy crap. Why have I never heard someone say that before? I fucking love this. And then I like Jacko's theme because she's like, I have to accomplish this goal, but I want to go have fun, but I can't. But because I watched like the story for the Guilty Gear Strive, I'm just like, you know what? If I do get around to playing this game, I'll go main her because I'll remind myself, relax. Life is more than just work. Remember to relax. Because that's something I used to struggle with all the time. Once I got into VR, it's not that big of a deal because VR made me realize how to relax a lot. But, you know, having another thing to remind me to relax, but still, like, try to go do things is a nice thing. Yeah. Trying to think. What else? Yeah. And then, I guess the last theme I'll talk about is Potemkin, because I was looking at his theme, and he's just like... Because he's such a goofy character, but his theme is all like, oh, your society is terrible and all that stuff. I must, like, help everyone else because no one else will go help others. And I'm just like, it seems like a bit much. But I love how his theme is just so much harder than everyone else. It's like the heaviest of metal. It's just funny to me. Hey. And I guess the only other thing I can talk about for music is I'm still addicted to listening to like music from like Lapfox tracks, or nowadays called Halley Labs. So I might go talk about that, some more tracks from them in the future. But since I kind of rushed this, like the only one I have right now that I wanted to go talk about was just like one of the tracks called Terrible Ride. I just really liked it. That's all. Nothing much more to say. I just really liked how it sounded. Yes. So from music, I'm going to go talk about movies, and then I'll go talk about some of the games I decided to go touch. There were 4 movies that I watched. So first of all, I watched. One friend had me go watch the Grand Bhudapest. If you watch the Isle of Dogs, like made by the same like kind of people going on. Basically, kind of smart humor, but it has a lot of dumb stuff just randomly every now and then. So I kind of really like its vibe. But yeah, I love it. And then the other one was Kubo and the Two Strings. Not much to say about that one. I just kind of enjoyed it. But of course I was very tired. But yeah. And my friend fell asleep during it, so I thought that was kind of funny. They've never fallen asleep like next to like someone else before, so like we were watching in VR, and so it was just kind of funny. I won't say who it is because they'll get embarrassed, but I just thought it was funny. But yes, I'm used to people falling asleep around me, so whatever. So there's 2 more movies I want to talk about. First one was Puss in Boots and the Last Wish. Now, people were hyping the heck out of this movie, so I thought it was going to live up to the expectations because, you know, that happens a lot. But I actually gotta say, yeah, good movie. Good movie. I can't say too much about it. But I definitely think a lot of people will relate to Puss in Boots. Especially nowadays. But for me, I've friggin' related to Perrito quite a lot. Cause he's this derpy looking dog, and he's trying to be like a therapist and such, and he tries to go be helpful for people, but like the entire movie, like he just kept on doing things that like I relate to incredibly hard. So it's nice to have a character that I strongly relate to that's not Griffith. That Griffith was the last one that I strongly related to. So it's nice to have someone that's not like the main villain, you know? It's just kind of funny. Yes. But one thing I do like is that like they portrayed like an accurate portrayal of what it's like to have a panic attack and like what to do if someone's having a panic attack. Basically, just sit by, ask if they're okay, but don't just like raffle off like a bazillion things that they should do. Just stay by them for a minute so they can calm down, so their mind can just think. So, the game gets some brownie points from me for doing that. See, anything else I can say? Nah. I mean, I could try saying more things about Perrito, but I think I could go on a little too long if I were to mention every single scene that they're in, so I won't do that. The last movie that I watched was The Joker, like, which is a very big shift in tone from Puss in Boots, because I think I watched it like a day or two after, and I gotta say, it was not quite the silly, happy guy walking down the steps, being a goofball like I thought it was going to be. But I enjoyed watching the movie, but it's not a happy movie. It's not a happy movie at all. It reminded me of the worst times in my life. Basically, like the time when I was working 60 hours at work, where I could barely had any time to do anything. It was basically works, chores, sleep, and if I even got sleep, like maximum of 3 hours of sleep, and then I regularly skipped like 3 days of sleep. Basically, I was hallucinating every now and then. All I gotta say is, if you take a lot of hours of work, make sure you got plenty of sleep. But it was my first job, so I didn't know. I thought like my workplace would be a little bit better about like the health of their employees or something. Foolish me, but yes. So basically, when I was watching back at that video, I'm just like, oh my god, that reminds me of like the worst times in my life. Like, oh, he's doing this thing and that thing. Oh, I remember when I did that. Like the one thing that reminded me of the most is like when he goes into the bathroom, he's just like, after he just like murders people for the first time, he's just like doing this weird dance like movement, like basically like trying to cope with the fact that like something super traumatic just happened, but he's still trying to go cope. It's like, oh my god. It's like, I've only felt that a couple times in my life, but I felt that. It's just like, holy crap. But definitely an experience to have. Not a fun experience, but it is one. I can see why people recommend it and say it's so good. Is it a good movie though? I don't know. It definitely made me feel something that I'm not used to feeling. It was definitely very different, so it has that going for it at least. And I do like it when movies do try to do something different. Alright. Now for something a bit more on the fun side. Video games I've played. There's a few games that I was just like, just doing a little tap on, just to be like, hey, I can play these games, sure, why not? Some friends got together and we were playing Don't Starve together. That was fun for a few days. I was playing MechWarrior 5 because the rise of Rasalhague, however you say that faction's name, that got released, and I was having a blast playing that game. And I think I might have a new favorite mech that I like to play for the Inner Sphere. It's still rivaling Catapult for my favorite Inner Sphere mech, but like the Crusader, I was released with that. It has the 2 LRM-15s, but it also has like 2 short-range missiles, and then you got the lasers to deal with aircraft, and then the frickin' machine guns for up close. So you're always firing something, always. Whereas opposed to the Catapult, You just got the missiles and the lasers, and then you're gonna overheat and just manage stuff. Crusader doesn't care. Any range, just fire something. And then the catapult doesn't have arms, but the Crusader does. So it's just so funny to go up there and just beat the heck out of little mechs and such. It's so fun. But yeah, I would like to go play that game some more, but I've just been so busy lately, especially since I've been playing Smash a bunch. We'll talk about that more in a minute. Is there any other game? Oh yes, there's 2 other games I want to go talk about. After I was doing some D&D, it's like starting to become like a thing where I'm playing like single player games, like after like each D&D session. So I started off playing Super Metroid because I want to go play Metroid Dread at some point because I've missed the boat on that. I feel bad, but I'm getting around to that. Super Metroid actually holds up. It's still like one of the best like Super Nintendo games I ever have played. I thought I was overhyping it, but I went back and played it and I'm like, oh my god, there's this and this and this and this connects to this and this. Oh my gosh. And there's so many ways. It's like Super Metroid is really good. So I'm happy about that. And then I played Metroid 2 for the Game Boy. Obviously, it's going to be a lot worse than Super Metroid because it's on the Game Boy. So it shocked me to see like how much Super Metroid takes from Metroid 2. So like I feel like the story-based stuff like Metroid 2 does a good job of. Super Metroid does like a lot of like the traditional like good game design sort of things. Metroid 2, they're still figuring things out, but I love how it is because a lot of the game is a lot of ambiance, and that's kind of like unheard of for something way back when. I thought it was gonna be like not be able to pull it off, but it pulled it off for me at least. And then they would sometimes have the upbeat music whenever you need like a little bit of a break, because the game's hard. It's very hard if you're not paying close attention. The pacing was quite good for the most part. Towards the end of the game, it gets to be a little bit of a grind because the fights get so hard that you have to do quite a bit of grinding to get your health and missiles back up. But I feel like with how short games were back then, I think that's fine. And it gives you a little like moment to be like, oh shit, that was so hard. He kicked my butt. There's more of them. It's kind of one of those deals. Also, as like fighting the bosses in Metroid 2, I really liked because most of the enemies are like just like fighting normal video games where you just go like, I just go here, bang, go there, bang, and then you're just walking through. They do like no damage, and you're using them to get your health back. So you feel kind of badass. But then you go to the fight the Metroids. They are like way faster than you. You have like no mobility compared to them. So it makes it feel more like like you're running away constantly all the time. It's just like go bang and just running away. You're like they're always aggressing on you and you just can't do anything about it. So I kind of love that. And it makes them very intimidating because in Super Metroid, they're not intimidating. Because they're kind of sluggish. But in Super Metroid, I feel like they wanted to replicate the feeling of something overwhelming you with like overwhelming speed and stuff by adding that to Ridley. So I get that feeling with Ridley because all the other bosses, like they're either like in a static position or it's the water guy where he just goes side to side. But like Ridley, he's very erratic. Like he goes all over the place. You never know what he's going to do. So I think that's awesome that they decided to be like, you know what, the Metroid thing, that was awesome. Let's just do this for Ridley and make sure that Ridley is the most prominent thing. And then they plaster him all over the box of the game. So I just thought it was funny. I plan on doing the rest of them. The next time I'm gonna go do Metroid 1, and then I'm gonna go do Metroid Fusion, and then I'm gonna go into Metroid Dread. Now, the Metroid Prime games, I want to do at some point, but I'll do that afterwards because that's made by a different, like, game studio sort of thing. I played them a long time ago, and they take a long time. And it's a very different experience because the Prime games, they want you to scan everything and read stories. But, like, the normal Metroid games, like the side-scroller ones, like, they like building up the atmosphere and making you experience it firsthand. And I prefer that kind of thing. Metroid Prime games have that a little bit, but they want you to read about it as well. Because you're supposed to, like, scan everything so you get the 100% ending, you know? So yeah, we'll get around to that at some point. Yes. Oh yes, last thing is Smash. So I'm gonna have a few of those videos. I'm probably gonna just stick with the 3 that I've edited so far. I don't know if I'll have more, but I'm editing them now. And so we'll see what happens. Sorry, that music just made me think of all my Beat Saber videos. But yes, I've been playing with a couple friends. Been playing Milky, who mains Lucas, but also plays the heck out of Bayonetta, Zero Suit, and Sheik. It's like, could you not have picked, like, harder characters to go play? But, like, if they get good with those characters, they'll be, like, practically unstoppable, I feel, because those are a lot of very good characters. They just take a lot of effort. Then there's another friend that's been playing recently, and they're maining Incineroar. And they're adapting really fast, because I'm always afraid of, like, Incineroar mains, because unlike people who main other characters, like, they'll use the strengths of the character to, like, beat most people, but, like, reading the opponent is, like, where I excel. So when I face, like, Incineroar and Ganondorf mains and Captain Falcon mains, like, they're the ones that scare me the most, because those characters are based around, like, knowing what the opponent's going to do. So, like, I feel like I actually have to go amp it up a little bit, try a little bit harder to be a bit more creative with how I'm fighting them, and actually focus on trying to abuse their weaknesses, whereas I don't really try too hard to abuse weaknesses on the other things. This is one of those things I gotta go improve on when it comes to just playing Smash. But yes, I do have to be careful about improving too much with Smash, because that does take a bit of time. But yes, I'm going to be getting more sleep so I can improve with less time. Because Smash 4, I was playing, like, all day, every day for a while. Was not getting much sleep. But that wasn't really doing much. In Ultimate, I've been, like, the times when I was trying to go improve, but, like, actually got some regular sleep. Like, I can learn these things in, like, 30 minutes instead of, like, 8 hours I was doing before, if I even learned it with the lack of sleep. All I gotta say is make sure your body is all good before trying to go get good at fighting games. Yeah. I do like fighting games because if there's something going wrong in your life, fighting games will make sure that, like, you focus on those, because fighting games require you to be thinking properly, and you are taking care of your body and all that. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. I was originally going to do a joke, but I have
a voice mod, so it should be kind of fun. Voice changer, but yes, recently,
the people behind Voice Mod, one of the people there decided to go upload a picture of a protogen. I'm like, oh, protogen, you're hitting me in my weak point. Because I was deciding whether or not to do voice mod stuff for D&D, because my Hydra character turned into a protogen Hydra. So I'm like, oh, should I get a voice mod thing to make it sound more robotic-y? And then the protogen picture was released, and I'm like, oh, okay, you're hitting me in the weak spot. I guess I'll go get it. So yeah. It was quite cheap too, so I've been having fun, but I'm gonna have to go like mess around with it a little bit. Still though, even though I like a lot of the voices on it, I still prefer doing voice acting like normally, because there's a difference between like trying to do like a voice changer where you
like, I am the biggest, toughest guy ever, and stuff like that.
And then you go try to do it without a voice mod and be like, ha, I'm the biggest, toughest guy ever. What do you think about that? It's just feels like a bit more engaging, you know? Don't mind me, I'm just checking to make sure I actually had it going off. That would have been embarrassing. Let's see. But yeah, been having a lot of fun in D&D. Though at the same time, every now and then I'll just like have a hard time paying attention. It's been a roller coaster this month for D&D. But yeah, learning tips on how to like engage more into it. Because I've had like 2 different groups for D&D. One of them we were doing D&D like in VR, and everyone was role playing. Everyone was like doing voices and stuff, and like we all knew our characters, and they were all playing off each other like a ton. So I was having a blast with that one. So I'm trying to get like the current D&D group to be a little bit more like that, but you know, we'll see what happens. I doubt it'll happen because, not every D&D campaign has to be like that. I just prefer it that way, you know? I feel like you're getting more into the setting when you do that. But yeah. I think that's pretty much it. Let me just make sure. And that might be it. Yeah. Yeah. So, that's all I gotta say. Maybe next time I'll go do more dances. I kind of like doing like this kind of thing and sort of like this. I don't know. There's some dances that I kind of like, but I need to learn how to like do proper dances and such. This freaking song. I want to do this in Beat Saber. I'm actually going to do Beat Saber after this. Speaking of Beat Saber, that's what I forgot to write down. So, so I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more Beat Saber. I'm going to do A Stranger I Remain. Someone wanted me to go do that. And then I'm going to go do Hot Wind Blowing. Because those are like the last 2 songs I can think of that were left for Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. So I gotta go do those. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to go do like a little preview until I can actually get like a little preview of Baiken's theme from Guilty Gear. Oh, that's the one I forgot to go mention when I was talking about the Guilty Gear stuff. So it's kind of funny because that's the one that's like the most important, because it's like a representation of like a character arc I went throughout life, because I was very unhappy with a lot of people, to put things lightly, when I was growing up. So I was very much into revenge. But this was like something like inwards, like no one actually saw this or anything. It's just like how my brain thought of other people. But luckily, I just kept with it, and then like just focused on improving instead of just being angry at other people. And then life got so much better. So every time I hear Baiken's theme, and then they're like, it goes through her whole character arc of like going for vengeance and then realizing vengeance isn't really worth it, and then she finds people that like she actually cares about. That makes me feel so sappy. And then like there's so much metal in it that like is really pumping and really cool. And then like I also like the anime stuff going on with it as well. Because you know I watched a lot of anime when I was younger, so I do like anime. And then lately I've been looking at like a lot of philosophy sort of stuff, starting with like Friedrich Nietzsche, which then led to like looking at other philosophies because I was curious. I only looked into him because of Berserk, because Berserk kind of affected me. So then after that I like looked into Buddhism. So like hearing the like apparently there's like a Buddhist like Japanese mantra being sung in at the beginning of Baiken's theme. Like that sounds so awesome to me. So it's just like combines like a whole bunch of things of my life and putting it into one. So if I ever have like a bad day, I can just go listen to that, especially if I'm like super irritable or something like that. But like as time goes on, I get less and less irritable because I don't know, I don't have anything to be irritable about because I'm fixing all my problems nowadays. So we'll go see. I think that's pretty much it. I hope you had a fun time listening to all this stuff. Alright, last thing I want to say. I swear, this will be the last thing I say before I stop this video. Because otherwise, I'll talk for hours, I bet. It's already 42 minutes. Oh gosh. I'm trying to go look at like what kind of freaking characters are in Smash, and I'm like, do I really want to main Sephiroth? What if I want to main someone else? So I'm kind of like messing around with different characters. So I don't know who I'm going to be, because part of me wants to go try doing Snake, part of me wants to go do Rosalina, another one wants to go do Inkling, Sonic, Fox. Like there's a bunch of characters that I want to do. So I'm just browsing around. So I'm kind of curious if anyone actually listened to this far. Who do you want me to main? I'll go give them a shot. Because I've been playing random with friends lately, just to give an idea of who I might want to main, while also exposing them to matchups that they might not know that well, so I can give them like advice on them. But yeah, hope you had a fun time listening to me ramble, just talking about random things in my life. Let's see what the next March brings. Oh, that's right, this is March. St. Patrick's Day is this month. I'm gonna be drinking. I'm gonna go see if I can actually record something where I don't get interrupted by people trying to go do private stuff again. That happened the last time I drank as well. Let's go see if I can finally manage to get a time where I drink, where people don't try to go talk about personal things. Maybe. I don't know. I'm starting to feel like it's like a lost cause at this point. It's just like, what point of I am drinking, don't talk to me about your personal problems when I'm drunk? Do I have to, how many times do I have to say this? It's like, if you know someone's drinking, you should not ask them about the personal things. It's like, why? Why? Oh well, with that said, have a good time. Goodbye.
Call